without ceremony Monster Hearts 2 system and is entirely improvised outside of backstory prepared for the start of the game. This game will contain description of violence, blood, sexual themes, alcohol, and gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
And we are live.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Are we all doing good?
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell fucking yeah. All right. Last time on Wasteland Gospel, we opened our scene with Ash. Ash unfortunately encountered an old flame who had been chasing her down for whatever reason. And luckily, even though Ash was extremely clumsy and struggled through her attempt, she did manage to get away and also evade the eyes of some people who noticed the kind of commotion outside that she was making. In addition to that, she may have had some help from the Coven leader as Haley sort of stepped in to stop Tal, who was looking for her. At the same time, Dante, Camino, and Knox had split up from their posts on the porch, while everyone inside the Altar Hotel, as well as those outside, had been waiting on a very mysterious dossier held inside a briefcase. It was being sought out by basically every single person within the hotel. As Knox made his way back inside, he managed to make a very strong and confusing impression on the remaining Coven members as he began to chat up the leader, and obviously there was some kind of history there. Despite wanting to remain outdoors, Dante and Cam eventually had to seek shelter from a sandstorm and made it inside. And Tal, who was unsuccessful in catching up to Ash, decided to go and update the leader of the cult, the choir, named Taya. Taya was not perplexed by this change at all and told Tal to keep following the plan. Eventually, the group converged on the bar and ended up in a kind of scuffle when Morgan spat at Dante and they engaged in physical combat, which was gleefully looked onward at by everybody else who was at the bar. Haley once again tried to step in to stop it, was relatively unsuccessful until Tal, who had taken Morgan by the hair to get her off of Dante, was punched in the face. So they have all had very interesting encounters with each other for nearly the first time. While all of this is happening, Ash used the distraction to intercept the briefcase and run with it upstairs. Despite Dante's best efforts to send their hellhound Camino after her, Camino decided to disobey them when Dante failed their role. By the time that Ash had split open the briefcase, stolen the documents inside, she decided it would be a great idea to just relinquish the rest of the documents in the briefcase over the edge of the balcony, shocking everyone below, and then eventually stealing away into the elevator with her friend and coworker, Vera, who had watched the entire scene unfold. But as they were escaping, they did come face to face with Taya, who had come down to begin to inspect the scene. Taya's presence is obviously one that is extremely menacing and at times feels omnipotent. By the time that they descended the stairs, everyone sort of fell silent and the entire Altar Hotel cleared out except for those engaged in combat. Finally, the Coven, who remained, Micah, Morgan, and Haley, managed to go upstairs unscathed, scathed for Morgan, and Taya was able to have a final briefing with the rest of the cult and spoke privately to Tal about a potential mission that they could undertake. By the time that Haley made it up to the Coven to discover Ash had successfully gotten the documents, she scolded them for being less of a cohesive unit and wanted them to really pride themselves on their connection to each other. The Coven is a tight-knit family and they should act like one. So we begin our scene. The very next morning, everyone has made it up to their respective rooms and they're starting the day. Following the confusing events of the day before, Taya is nowhere to be seen, but is very likely to be found inside their penthouse on the top floor of the altar, everyone else remaining on the third and fourth floors below. Knox had a confusing interaction with the group, and you might be stepping outside your room at the same time as Dante. Dante lives down the hall from you, and you notice that they still look a little bit beaten up from when they were released from jail the day before. Knox, do you want to speak to Dante?
As soon as Knox sees Dante outside, kinda walks towards them and says, "You got your beauty sleep?"
Yeah. This bed is way more comfortable than the one in jail, not gonna lie.
Yeah, you look really refreshing. I like all that going on, and then points at Dante's face that's beaten up.
What do you mean, this glow or something?
Yeah, you're glowing indeed, yes.
That's the nicest thing you've said to me in a while.
Thank you.
Knox. Wow.
Yeah, I am not sarcastic at all. And then looks around to see if there is anybody else in the corridor, like if there is any other action.
Tal, it's probably about 9 a.m. You can hear that there's some noise outside your bedroom door. Did you want to take a look outside? Do you want to stay inside your room, investigate? What are you thinking right now?
Oh man. Tal actually probably has been up for a minute. They were like tidying up their room a little bit, making sure nothing was like placed out important, things like that. They are currently thinking about the thing that Taya had mentioned to them the night before and seems very much focused on that. And will probably be heading out of the door soon. They're wearing their usual like get up still. Hasn't put on the hat. We'll probably just leave it in the room for today though. And yeah, that's what they're thinking about. That's what they're doing. And they're probably gonna walk out of the room.
All right, so Knox and Dante Tal from down the hall exit their room. Do you want to go up to them? Do you have another thing in mind? What do you do?
I think that as soon as Knox sees Tal, waves at them and gives bright smile. But again, since Knox has the condition freaky, the green comes up a little bit like unhinged in a... I feel like this person is gonna hurt somebody today.
Oh my god. Tal is locking their room, and as they turn around and like put their keys in their pocket, looks at Knox and Dante, sees Knox's smile, and Tal is like pretty friendly with their group and gives a little smile, but then realizes like Knox is smiling way too large, and then kind of furrows their eyebrow for a quick second, and then like just smiles more, kind of like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but it's Knox for you. And then Tal goes, "Hey, morning, guys."
Good morning.
Morning.
Y'all are up early.
Yeah, I didn't sleep much last night for some reason. I was kind of like, I don't want to say troubled by what happened yesterday, but it was a bit in my mind.
Tal kind of purses their lips a little bit, reliving the events of last night, and feels this tinge of embarrassment, but then just nods and says, "Yeah, I definitely am with that sentiment as well. We should just probably get ourselves cleaned up and get back on track."
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think I was about to go do some stuff myself.
All right. Yeah, I've got some stuff to run for today, but if you guys need me, you can just always give me a call or something.
Thank you. This, and then points, like with the hands, get both of them like kind of in a triangle. Was lovely. What a lovely morning seeing you two like this. Awesome. And then just turns around and walks the other direction.
I love Knox so much. Did you say makes a triangle with their hands?
Like basically, since they are kind of in a triangle position, right? Like
yes,
there is Knox there, and like Dante's kind of in front of their room, and Tal as well. So like it's when you put your hands in front of you, pointing at both people, that's what he's doing.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I love Knox so much.
They can form a triangle if they hold hands, though. So.
Oh, perfect.
Man. Tal kind of just waves at Knox, and they're just like, okay, cool, I guess Knox is off doing what the hell he does. And then Tal looks at Dante and is giving them a polite once over, and then goes, "Hey, how are you holding up? I know last night was kind of rough. I'm sorry it turned out that way."
It's okay. I've been through worse. Don't worry. It was but a scratch.
Yeah, but still, we don't like seeing anyone get hurt. Was there anything like you needed, or I know Taya kind of wanted you to get the documents and like go sniff around.
Yeah, I should probably get to that. Last night was very messy. We fucked up so hard.
Yeah, hey, it happened, but it's okay. Like we're doing this for a reason, and
Yeah, for sure.
Taya believes in us and stuff, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, we must not disappoint them. Anyways, I'll be going. Do you need to go anywhere? I'm taking the car.
No, I'm good. I'm staying here at the hotel for today. I'm just gonna be going around, and I'll catch up with you guys later.
Alright. Oh, I'll know where to find you then.
All right. And then Tal just like smiles politely and then starts heading probably towards the elevator.
Okay.
All right.
Dante will come with.
Awkward. Not talking weird.
An awkward walk.
Oh my god. Oh, you're going this way too? Shit. All right.
I can just jump through the window. It's just the third floor, you know.
Oh my
Easy.
god. Miss God, can I just say that like when Knox left, went towards his room and then to the left and towards the elevator, he was going to go to Taya.
Okay,
Oh.
really quickly, I just want to let Dante know that Cam is in her dog form. She's probably still asleep in the room unless you've woken her up. And if you want, you can just leave her behind and go do your car business, and she'll just have to stay in the room like a prisoner. That's fine.
Oh lord.
No, I'm actually gonna go wake her. I didn't know that she sleeps in my room, but yeah.
Yeah, like she sleeps in her dog form, I think. And
Yeah.
then Knox, you actually don't have the key for the special elevator that leads to Taya's penthouse. Only Tal does, but you can hit the intercom and Taya can call the elevator for you. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Okay. There's radio static, but you can hear on the other line it clicks.
Hey, it's me. Can I come over?
There's a long period of silence.
Hello. And then Knox does this to the intercom like, is somebody there?
You hear like a soft exhale through their nose. That's the closest thing you'll get to a laugh out of Taya. And Taya asks, "Why do you want to come upstairs?"
I just wanted to talk to you. Is that allowed?
They don't say anything, but the elevator that leads to the penthouse dings and the chain gate cracks open. So you can enter it if you'd like.
Thank you so much. And then just steps in and hits the button.
As Knox ascends the elevator, Dante, if you'd like to wake Cam, you can. And Tal, you're heading towards the elevator now as well, right?
Yes, to go down to the lobby where the bar is at.
Okay, awesome. So, do you think that at this point, Dante, perhaps you've had an epiphany and you're like, oh, I left Cam in the room, and you've turned around to go back?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Tal, you'll continue on to the elevator, and I think you'll catch a glimpse of Knox heading into the penthouse elevator as you walk towards it. Dante, how do you want to wake Cam?
I think they're gonna poke her with their foot. Not kick her, but just wake up.
The dog will probably growl and turn their head away from you unless you like speak to her like a person.
Come on, Cam, we gotta go.
She
Wake
looks
up.
at you with her kind of like black beady eyes to gesture, do I have to be a person for this, or can I be this way?
You can be this way, just let's go.
She like stands up and stretches with a kind of almost human disinterest and then walks outside of the door without you.
Good puppy. And then Dante follows.
All right. On the fourth floor, we have the Coven waking up. Ash, you're in your room alone. You have actually been thinking a lot about the documents that you took. You've been thinking a lot about the sort of quick thinking and life threatening decisions you made the night prior. What are you doing? What do you want to do?
They've been thinking about it, and low key, they regret the quick decision that they made of bringing Vera up and like Taya sawing them. So they regret that a little bit. But the night before, as Haley was reading the papers, was there any new information on them besides
Yeah,
just location?
Yeah, there was a lot of really helpful information actually. What you guys all learned was that the object you were looking for has a specific destination that you can get to together, but it would be a little bit risky to head there now, as the second you step off of the altar grounds, you become an instant target for the cult again. So it bears worth mentioning that you might want to come up with a strategy before just going after it, because you could be followed.
Was there a timeline for when this is being like dropped, or how much time
Um,
we have to get to this?
all of the objects are actually strategically concealed. So once you know the location of something, it's the fixed location. And as far as you know, this is the only existing document of where this location is. So you have full use of the information.
Okay. And I guess my last question would be like if they plan to meet the day after at some point.
Yeah, I think no firm plans were made, but you could knock on anybody's door at the Coven and maybe try and get some discussions going.
Okay. I guess like Ash leaves the room, kind of looks both ways, and would go to Haley's room, like just knock on it.
I think you hear like a couple things crashing over, and like it seems like she's not ready to wake up. Do you want to wait for her to make it to the door?
She hears there's noise like on the other side, so they just lean against the wall and
Okay.
wait.
The door opens. She has like messy hair. She hasn't been able to put it into her little ponytail yet. And she looks relatively disheveled. It seems like Haley might sleep in. And she gives Ash a once over, clicks her tongue. Um,
Ash
Morning.
actually gives Haley a once over back with a raised eyebrow. Like, morning.
Is there a reason you're here right now? You want to talk? Or.
Do you mind? She kind of like points to the room.
Is this a private conversation? Should I get everybody else? Or we can just talk, you and me.
Yeah, it can be just private.
She raises her eyebrows and then gives her a once over again and then moves out of the way of the door so Ash can go inside.
Ash takes like a look at what Haley's room might look like. Is it a mess?
Surprisingly, the room itself is quite clean. She's got documents laid out against a wall where they're sort of taped together over a map of the area. She has a small suitcase that's sort of like a trunk, but it has like straps that can be attached to a horse. And she has her clothes for the day laid out on the back of a chair. She walks in and kind of folds her arms over her chest and waits for Ash to start talking.
Ash like absentmindedly just go over to the map, takes a look at it, and like kind of taps it, just taking it in everything. Then they say, uh, I mean, I know you said yesterday we, I guess, gotta work together. a little more, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little concerned
About what?
about your little friend's attitude.
Oh, I beg your pardon?
Um, I'm sorry, I didn't mean like that whole thing that Micah was talking about. I meant Rogers.
Go on, say it.
Um, it's kind of a risk putting themselves up there like they did.
Do you think you're less of a risk with one of those choir members breathing down the back of your neck?
At least I don't go around like punching them in the face and bringing attention to myself. I
Oh
try to keep
no.
quiet.
That briefcase move
I'm sorry,
definitely didn't bring
I
attention
didn't mean
here.
to laugh. That was Leslie.
um, I mean, you're not exactly a covert creature. You know that.
Yes, but at least I try.
Well, what exactly are you suggesting? Just out with it.
Well, I guess my suggestion would be maybe you have a little talk with them. Maybe try and convince them to not go throwing punches as often. Just perhaps.
What if I like that she throws punches?
Uh, you know what? I guess that's not my concern. I
Here,
would,
let me give you a little scenario. Haley will walk over to Ash and rest her hip against the table so that she's face to face with her. You are in the absolute grips of this person. You are in so much trouble. And your weak little noodle arms are not going to be able to face that 8 foot tall little lady. But you've got an insane, feral young lady who's willing to jump on top of a choir member in the middle of a hotel and beat the living shit out of them. Is that worth nothing to you?
hmm, I mean, as long as there's the line, I guess.
You know what she went through, don't you?
Yeah,
I think we could have a little more trust in her, but if it would make you feel more comfortable, I will talk to her about maybe making an effort with you so that you're on the same page. How about that?
I would appreciate.
You know I like you, right?
Yeah, I don't get why.
That's not very confident. What do you mean?
I mean, this is just kind of a business. We're helping each other, and once this is done, it's done.
Hmm. I'm sorry to hear that, but maybe you're right. While we're business partners, though, I might want to take care of you when I can. So I only ask that you do that in return. And then, you know what? Once you're all done, taken care of, you can get out of here. And you can forget about all of this. But let's just pretend to get along until then, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You got anything else to say?
You gonna meet me today?
Probably. Why, you have plans?
Yeah, maybe.
Are you going to tell me or are they a secret?
It's literally work.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Oh, yeah. Oh. I forget
Ash kind of chuckles a little bit at that.
that. All right, kid. You can go now. Try to take a back door or something so that you don't run into any problems. If I'm not around, maybe I can't help you get away. Scramble like a little egg. All right.
Ash kind of gives another sigh because of how the situation went down. the day before. Fine. I'll try to get along a little better.
Haley goes over to the door and opens it, rests on the back of her heels.
Okay. They don't really say bye. It's just, okay, this is done, and then they start walking.
Before Ash makes it completely into the hallway, Haley sort of looks down and, without looking at Ash, says, "You're worth liking, and you're worth standing up for. And we're gonna do that for you, okay?"
You kind of just look at her and kind of give a nod, but then it starts walking away.
Okay. When Haley closes the door behind you, Morgan, you might hear the click. It reverberates a little bit, and you've grown really perceptive to subtle sounds in the distance, being a trained killer. What are you doing right now? What do you want to do?
Morgan's in her room. Do we heal from sleeping in this game, or do I have to like manually heal myself?
You have 3 harm right now, right?
I
Or
have
2?
2.
Okay, I'm gonna say that a full rest will heal you 1 harm. So you still have a harm.
Okay, I think Morgan on instinct would go to Haley's room and see if she could help her.
Okay, so you exit your room. Do you want to describe to everybody what you might look like?
I think because it's like morning, Morgan's wearing like sweatpants and a loose tank top showing off her arms, and her right arm has like wrappings all around it, and then her left arm is covered in a sleeve of tattoos.
All right. Hi Morgan. So Morgan, you walk forward, and Haley's room is in the hallway right before Micah's, who at this point I think is probably stirring. Micah, what are you thinking right now? What do you want to do? Yesterday was kind of interesting for you.
Yeah, before Micah leaves the room, I would actually like to ask the Abyss something, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
Roll dark.
Okay. I have +2. A 6. Oh, bong. that's
Oh
terrible.
no, I'm so sorry.
How did it end up like this?
What were you going to
Okay.
ask the Abyss?
I wanted to ask the Abyss what exactly the relationship between Haley and Knox is, but 6 is a fail, right?
Ooh, you failed. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so as you're trying to look into the Abyss for your answers, whether or not it's a cloud of the sort of demonic energy that kind of surrounds both of them, almost like they're kind of spectral creatures not really from this world, you can't parse what's going on between them. So what do you do now?
In that case, Micah is gonna leave the room to go catch up with the other Coven members to get in a check-in for what are the plans for today or what has to be done.
All right, you exit your room. Do you want to say what you look like right now?
Yeah, Micah is actually wearing like a white tank top with the pants they wore the day before, where they have the dark belt, dark pants, but their suspenders are hanging down, like beside their hips, and yeah, that's their casual morning look.
So, Micah, when you exit the room, you do see Ash, who has just freshly left Haley's room, and you see Morgan rounding the corner, and the 3 of you meet at a standoff. What do all of you do?
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Like a
think Morgan's
Spider-Man
just
meme.
gonna yeah, Morgan's just gonna look around at you guys and not really say anything, and then keep going to Haley's room.
All that Ash does is just because they said they would try for Haley. They make her aware like of their presence by like tapping their hand and then just go away.
Morgan's gonna
Oh
give like
my
a skeptical look and then nod back and be like, okay, and then walk.
Yeah, Micah's also gonna nod as Ash makes herself on her way, and then tries to catch up with Morgan, if that's possible.
Oh yeah, both of you are like firmly in the hallway now. Do you have anything you want to say to each other?
Yeah, as Micah catches up with Morgan, they actually go, Rogers, hi, good morning, how's it going? How are you feeling, champ? And as they greet her this way, they actually do a gentle, like, clap on the back of their shoulder. And I want to use the move Alter Fate, if that's okay.
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay,
Whoa.
so the move Alter Fate, basically, by touching a person, you may clear them of ailments or conditions. They are healed, but choose yourself or someone else willing to gain that condition or ailment. You may spend a string on someone who is unwilling to have them gain it themselves. Gain it instead. What did you want to do with that?
I want Micah to gain the condition or the harm in this case.
Aww.
Okay. Morgan, as Micah does this, you can feel something happening in your body. You can feel the pain lifting away from you. Are you willing to let this pain go? Are you relaxing into the idea that you're losing that harm? Or are you unwilling to get rid of it?
I think she'll relax a bit and yeah, let go of it.
All right, Micah, mark down that you have a harm now.
All right, thank you.
Morgan, what do you want to say to Micah?
She's gonna look up and I think kind of like roll her shoulders and look at Micah and be like, whoa, is that you?
I mean, yeah, it's me. I'm Micah. Nice to meet you.
Not
What
that.
do you mean?
I mean, like, that weird feeling. I feel better.
What, Rogers, you got butterflies in your stomach for me now? Oh my, oh my.
Alright, I take it back. You can go back now.
Morgan, did you want to knock on Haley's door? Or do you guys want to keep talking?
Yeah, Morgan is gonna knock on Haley's door.
Haley answers it looking a little bit more put together. She has her hair pulled back into the sort of half ponytail, half bun, and she's wearing a sort of like button down shirt open at the collar, though she hasn't had time to put the t shirt on underneath. I guess she was getting dressed in a hurry after Ash came to see her. And she's wearing pants and a chunky belt with the chaps on. And she looks at Morgan and Micah and smiles really big. Doesn't say anything.
Morgan's gonna smile and say, guess who? And then flop down on Haley's bed.
Are you two kids getting along now?
Oh yeah. All great here.
We're basically best friends like we've always been. Don't you worry.
All right. What are you two lovely little angels doing in my space right now?
Well, I came to ask, got anything for me to do today?
Well, I do actually. I've been thinking about this place. She sort of gestures around to the room, to the hotel in general, and crosses her arms over her chest again and leans against one of the bedposts and looks back at Micah and says, I really think there's more going on here. I can't explain why. You know, this used to be a mining colony. There were mines that stretched underneath the town for a really long time. They all got closed because they weren't safe anymore.
You think there's something hidden there?
I don't know. Kind of have a feeling. What about you?
Micah hums and does a little thinking action where they put their hand on their chin. Well, I do trust your gut feeling usually. It might be worth checking out.
What about you, honey?
I'll do whatever you say. Just give me the word.
Well, I'm kind of interested in those folks that were making it a bit of a hard time for us last night. I think it might be in our best interest to keep an eye on them if we're going to go poking around the hotel. This is choir territory. I don't really know if we're going to get in trouble. I'd love if we get in some trouble, but nothing too big.
Morgan's gonna smile and say, speaking of keeping an eye on him, I swapped this off one of them yesterday, and then throws Tal's wallet at Haley.
She catches it and opens it up gleefully and starts going through the IDs and the cash. Oh my
As
god.
Haley is doing this, Micah's just gonna start clapping and be like, classic Rogers. Nice job.
You're slippery. This is good stuff.
What can I say?
I think they're gonna be looking for this. Talon, Mesa. You wanna keep an eye on them?
I mean, I can.
Haley's gonna throw the wallet back to Morgan. Alright. Those sound like assignments to me. What do y'all think?
Sounds pretty solid.
Yeah.
Alright, you know where to find me. I'll be up here for most of the day checking out these locations. They gave coordinates, but it's kind of hard to track when there's so much open desert. I might come down a little bit later, but if you need anything, just come right on back. My door's open.
Absolutely, Miss Marshall. Morgan's gonna head out.
Real quick question to Ms. God. Are there horses we can use?
Yeah, so the two horses that you guys currently have in the stable are Ash's horse, Chief, and then Haley's horse, Deputy. You'd probably have to ask either of them if you could use them, but you probably can.
Okay, then I'm not sure if Zoe wants to, but I'm just gonna go ahead. Micah's gonna, as they're leaving, turn around and turn to Haley and ask, "Hey, do you mind if I take Deputy out for a ride?"
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
Listen, be careful if you're walking around outside. We're safe in here, but you might want to keep your ass peeled in case anything gets a little sticky.
Don't worry, I gotcha. I'll bring the fella back, all safe and sound. Don't worry.
Micah, if I was a little hard on you yesterday, I hope you know it's because I know how good we all are to each other.
Micah gives a smile and answers, "I know, Hales. I know." And then turns away to leave.
All right. I'd like to check in with Tal now. Tal, you saw Knox head up the elevator to Taya's room, and now you're heading downstairs. What exactly do you want to do right now?
Tal is very observant and not in a rush at all, but is going to be heading towards like the bar area and probably near the supply room or Miss God if I like if I had the floor plan all wrong again. She wanted to like check for a door.
Oh, yeah, sure. So you're heading towards the back by the two bathrooms, or you're heading to the room behind the bar?
The room behind the bar.
All right.
Is that correct? Okay, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. When you get inside, you notice that there are stores of more expensive wine, lots of gins, towels, glasses, cleaner. You notice on the bottom shelf there's rat poison and a couple other things. And you do notice that there's a note that's been left in the sort of center of the room on one of the boxes.
Oh. I think before Tal shuts the door to the storage room, they're gonna make sure that no one is like watching them. There's no one around.
No, there's no one around. It's just you. The choir that operates within this building, even though they can't perform actual choir business, they all respect you as one of the high ranking officers, so they kind of leave you to do your own thing.
Okay, cool. Tal's gonna look at that box. Kind of caught their attention.
When you look at the box, it's a note that says for the soloists, and then at the bottom it says take downstairs with a little asterisk on it. And you remember that you might be able to transport this to the basement if you go around the bar towards the back door near the elevators.
Okay. And this box is shut?
Yeah, it's a sealed wooden crate. You could try to pick it up to see how heavy it is.
Yeah, I think Tal's gonna pick up the crate and see how heavy it is or if it makes any sound.
It's honestly pretty hefty, and there's a bunch of things inside that seem to be rolling around, though it's totally sealed with nails. It's pretty hefty, but you could probably carry it yourself.
Does it smell or anything? Like, or is it just it's just a crate?
No, it sounds like they're canisters. It doesn't smell like anything particular. Usually you've never seen gunpowder or anything like that behind the bar, but this does seem like a very specific place to hide whatever's inside this crate. And they seem kind of like, if you roll it around a little bit, the containers that are inside are hollow. And you think you might know what they're for, but you can't be sure.
Ooh. Okay. Gotcha. And it says to take downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take that. So it's not just sitting there in the supply room for people to take, and Tal's gonna take it to potentially like move it downstairs, down to the ground.
When you leave the supply room, Morgan, you get out of the elevator. And do you want to take a look over the balcony to see what's going on? Which direction do you want to go?
Yeah, I think she'll look around. What's happening?
You notice that Chrissy's actually at the front desk. It's really early for her to be at the front desk. Notice some people milling around. There seem to be a couple people waiting for the bar to open, which doesn't open until 11 a.m., thank God. Um, but you do notice somebody leaving the supply room. They look familiar, but it's hard to tell. You might remember them from yesterday. What do you want to do?
Morgan is gonna go to them.
All right, you're gonna tail them?
Yeah, like tentatively walk closer and see if she recognizes them.
All right, make a gamble roll.
Oh my god. Okay. I got a 9.
Oh god.
All right, so that's a mixed success. So Tal will feel something nearby. Something feels a little strange, but she doesn't actually notice or see you or anything like that. So you catch up to her and you notice that they're turning a corner. You are kind of in the open. You're very recognizable. Do you want to keep following them?
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, Tal, where exactly are you going?
So for the mixed success, it's like it feels weird, but like it's not quite sure what it is, or like how.
Yeah. Something seems just like a bit strange.
Okay. Tal's gonna go to the bathroom.
Oh. Morgan, what do you want to do?
And wait, so Morgan saw Tal leaving the supply closet.
Yes, Morgan saw Tal leaving the supply closet and then circling around towards the back behind the bar where there seems to be a strange looking room past the bathrooms.
Can Morgan go into that strange looking room?
Um, Probably not. It doesn't really seem like you'd be able to open it. It's a different door than the rest of the doors in the hotel.
Okay. In that case, I think she'll wait to see if Tal comes back out of the bathroom from a distance.
All right. And as you're waiting, where exactly are you waiting? Like, just around the bar to not be so conspicuous as to following Tal, right?
Yeah, wait, hang on, let me. Yeah, I am.
All right. So, Morgan, you're hanging out by the bar. You're trying not to be too conspicuous. And Dante begins descending the stairs with a dog that you think is quite menacing and large. Dante, you see Morgan. What do you want to do?
They don't want to start another fight like early in the morning, so they roll their eyes and pretend they don't see Morgan. They just head for the exit.
Morgan, you see Dante, and you notice that this dog is growling at you. What do you want to do?
Are there any like snacks or anything on the bar? You know how like some bars will have a little like bowl of peanuts and stuff?
Yeah, there's a bowl of peanuts on the bar.
Morgan's gonna grab a little spritz of the peanuts and just kind of like smile and then be like, ooh, like at the dog and just throw them at the dog.
Okay, the dog pauses and sort of turns to face Morgan and gets into a kind of defensive position and is growling quite loud again. This dog has really dark eyes and features. It's very, very creepy and unsettling. Dante, you notice that Cam has stopped walking beside you. What do you do?
Without looking anywhere, Dante keeps walking and says in a very low voice, just ignore her.
I guess since Cam knows that Dante's obviously off to do something, she decides to be compliant this one time and keeps moving away from Morgan. Though I'm sure that the onlookers waiting for the bar to open really enjoyed Morgan threatening this dog for whatever reason.
Morgan's just like, aw, doggy, does the dog want some peanuts?
Tal, do you want to take a peek out? What did you want to do while in the bathroom? You had a strange nagging feeling, but you're not really sure what it was.
Yeah. Tal's gonna put the box down and look in the mirror really quick. And then also is looking around the bathroom. This is like an odd question as well, but is there like a vent in this bathroom?
Yeah, there's actually like a pretty large vent in one of the stalls. The building is quite old. A lot of the vents doubled as maintenance shafts. So it's in the stall towards the window.
Okay. And are there any potted plants in this room, in this bathroom?
You know what? Yeah. There's sure. There's a fern on the windowsill. It's in a little pot.
Nice!
Wow.
Okay, nice. Okay. Well, Tal's pretending to fix their hair in the mirror. They want to gaze into the abyss if that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Real dark.
Okay. Let me roll dark.
Ah!
Screams to the skies.
What do you want to ask?
I wanted to ask if there was anyone like following them.
It sort of seems like everything feels a bit obscure. You can't really tell if you're paranoid just from yesterday. And you leave the abyss in your mind, still asking the same question with no answer.
Beautiful. I think in that case, then Tal's probably like, it's probably just nothing. It's all right. And picks up the box again, the crate, and then cautiously cracks the door open for the bathroom and then looks out into the hallway to see if there's anyone looking.
Morgan, are you waiting for a sound, or how do you think you're going to know when the coast is clear to check for Tal? Might Tal see you peeking around the corner?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Tal, it's hard to miss Morgan. Morgan looks very specific with her hair and her muscles and her arms and stuff. What do you want to do? This could have been the strange feeling.
Okay, so Tal is just peeking an eye out, so are they just looking at each other from the... They're just looking at each other.
Morgan ain't no pussy.
Wait, what?
Morgan ain't no pussy. I think she's like
She's gonna keep staring?
Yeah. What is the bar open yet?
No, it's only like 10 a.m.
Oh, damn it. Morgan is gonna smile at Tal and then pull out Tal's wallet and kind of like smile and like wave it at them and then head to the bar and sit down at a table.
Okay. I'm screaming. Oh my god.
Why are people yelling at me? Oh my god.
Oh my god. Shit. Okay. Tal's gonna instinctively like feel their back pocket where they usually keep their wallet, and it's not there, and is feeling like this hot claw on the back of like her neck, and is fucking god, I hate this group of people. And lets the door close again to the bathroom, and then is calculating. Looks at the box. You said it's like nailed in.
Yeah, you could probably pry it open. You're pretty strong, but you might need to use something on your person. If you have something hard, like a knife or even like a lighter, really. Like anything that would maybe be able to like wedge in between.
Okay, Tal's gonna get on her knee really quick and put the crate on the floor, and is gonna try and pry the box open.
All right.
With a fuck, I guess they have a pocket knife. I don't know, I'm just making it up. they
I love
probably
that.
would. Yeah, they probably have a pocket knife somewhere, and
All right.
tries to pry it. Is it volatile, or what is this, gamble?
Yeah, I'll say volatile.
Okay. Oh god, I feel like I shouldn't be prying this box open, but alas. Okay. It's an 8.
All right, that's a mixed success. So I'm gonna say that you struggle under the weight of this box just a tiny bit. You maybe like work up like a tiny bit of a sweat, but you are able to pry the lid off, and you notice that there's quite a lot of packing material to cushion whatever's inside. And it seems like what's inside is deep in the bottom. Do you want to rifle through it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look through it. I gotta see what's in there. See if there's anything important.
When you make it to the bottom, you notice these hollow reinforced glass canisters. They look like they plug into something, almost like an energy cell. There are 6 of them, and they seem strange, but you feel this deep understanding for what they're for and why they're important.
Okay. Fuck.
Also, I will tell you, and this is not something that you have to do, the vent is big enough to fit the crate.
Oh my god. Damn, that's a big vent. Actually, I was thinking if it was all right. Do these look fragile?
They kind of seem like reinforced glass, so if you drop them, they won't break. That's why they're heavy.
Okay.
But the thing is, they're also quite large. If you can imagine, just slightly smaller than like a 2-liter bottle of pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, how many are there? And if there's not too many, I think Tal is gonna try and pry that vent open. Like the cells, not the crate itself, but Tal wants to take the cells and put them in the vent.
Oh, nice. So there's 6 of them. And you could probably unscrew the vent with your pocket knife. I don't think you'd have to pry it off. Do you want to try and hide them?
Yes, I'm gonna try and hide them in there. Probably put some of the stuffing that was in the package to cover it a little bit.
All right. Roll chance, please.
Chance? Hold on, is that gamble?
Yeah, that's gamble.
Okay. Oh my god, I'm gonna scream. Okay.
Okay. Tal marks experience again. And I'm gonna say that as you were trying to, you shuffled the crate along the ground into one of the stalls and closed yourself in a stall. And you began to try to unscrew this vent, which is definitely person sized. But as you're doing this, you hear the bathroom door open and the sink start running. So someone is obviously in this bathroom with you, and you're not going to be able to complete this task right now as you are.
Oh wait, this person is washing their hands? Like...
Yeah, they're just washing their hands. It's just definitely stopped you from being able to take the vent off.
God. Okay, well, Morgan went around to the bar, right? With the wallet. Okay.
She's chilling with a
at the stall, at the like on a stool or something.
Yeah, with a glass of water.
Okay, well, Tal's gonna take her chances and then probably just pack up the crate again because obviously, like, they've been interrupted, and is gonna walk out of the stall and then probably walk out the bathroom and see again, and maybe try and go for the door, the weird looking door.
All right. I'm going to say that the person who was in the bathroom was actually a choir member. When they see you, they stiffen, almost like they're standing at attention.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and you're able to slide past them, and without anybody watching you, you're able to make it to the door at the back and get inside with your set of keys that Taya gave you.
Okay.
Um, I'm going to move now to Ash, who was descending the stairs trying to get out of the hotel discreetly. Ash, you've made it down to the lounge. What exactly do you want to do right now? What are you thinking?
I'm on the lounge. And I don't see anyone, right? That would be of immediate danger for myself.
No, there's currently nobody in here that should be cause for concern.
Can I ask something to the abyss as well?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Okay. 8.
All right.
Um, from the lounge, my question would be like, what's my best way out of the hotel without being noticed?
The safest way out of the hotel would actually be to go out the very back double French doors that lead outside, and then to circle around close to the canyon side of the hotel, which is on the right. Also, since you rolled higher than a 7, you have a passive move that lets you ask another question to the abyss about the person hunting you.
Yes. What can I ask about the person hunting me? Oh my god, the chat is going. uh, does she want me? Uh, oh my god, you guys. I'm not sure how to word this, but has like Cal's will to hunt her like went up or down as of yesterday after seeing her? Or something like that. I'm not sure how to make this question.
Okay, so like, where is Ash on the priority list for Tal?
Yeah, kinda, yes.
All right, Tal, I'm going to leave that to you. What do you think?
Mm-hmm. Tal is kind of taking care of something else that seems like also urgent right now. Ash is like at a number 2 right now. Number 1 being like the thing Tal is taking care of right now.
Okay.
Mm,
So Ash is not the priority at the moment.
At the moment, no.
Okay. Okay.
all
I think
right.
that will make them feel confident enough to make their way out.
All right, so you do actually make it out of the altar safely. The altar's lounge has these enormous stained glass Gothic windows, and there are these engaged columns along the side and this big arched roof. You've not really spent too much time in the lounge, but it's quite impressive. And as you make it outside, there's a sort of gray sky. It's a little windy. It makes walking next to the canyon a little bit intimidating, but other than that, it's okay. Where are you headed?
You said that the shop is not too far away, right?
Yeah, it's probably like a 5-ish minute walk.
Okay. So she wouldn't need to take the horse. I think she would just walk there. Does she see anything else that is of interest on the way?
If she's walking carefully, she might see Dante exiting the front door of the hotel. Dante, you are walking out to go get the car, correct?
Yes.
So, Ash, you would see them, and you would also see this large black dog following them around like an omen. Do you think anything to yourself?
I think Ash recognizes that's the person that Morgan picked the fight with the day before, and they're gonna make a note to themselves, like, of the car that they're driving.
All right. You may also, if you sort of squint your eyes, see that sort of shock of blue hair working their way towards the stables in order to take deputy out. What do you think of that?
I don't think it isn't too important for Ash. I think they'll just go their way.
All right. So, where is Ash going now? What exactly does she want to do?
I think Ash is going to the shop and just try and keep a low profile for the day after what happened. Like, they don't want to be around where the choir literally like operates.
Okay, very fair. So you make your way over. The town seems relatively deserted once again. And you walk up to the familiar sort of shop, operating almost like a town gift shop, like a hotel gift shop, and this collection of oddities. And as you enter, characteristic little bell chimes, and you see Vera pop up from behind the cash really quickly to seem like she's busy and also professional. And when she sees you, she smiles really big and almost surprised.
Oh, good day to you.
Hey, jellyfish. I didn't think I'd see you so soon.
I mean, are you giving me the day off?
Well, I mean, you seemed like you were doing something important yesterday, but I mean, I'd love to help. I don't really think we're going to have many people in today, but yeah, you can grab an apron if you want.
Yeah, sure. They go do like the usual routine, and I think they kind of tell Vera, I may just been avoiding someone. So, I don't know. Maybe here is the best place to be.
I mean, I love it when you're here, so you can stay as long as you want. Were you asking if you could work in the back today?
I mean, that would be great.
I mean, I got lots of chores for you to do. If you'd like to, you can just work in the back. I won't be able to talk to you, and Popsicle will miss you, but that's fine. Totally up to you. Your safety is a top priority.
Mm. I'm sure there's a bunch of critters behind there that I can talk to.
Oh, yeah, you can feed the snakes.
Uh, yes. Yes, I was talking about them. We had
um,
a great talk last time.
oh, yeah. Oh. And did you tell them that I am the best shop owner in town that you've ever known?
Um, I definitely mentioned something about you being a better boss, like one of the better bosses that I have so far.
Wow.
Don't don't
Oh.
don't let it go up in your head.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's already there. Okay, you go ahead and work. Just try to keep an eye on the back door is a little bit loose. Somebody tried to break in last night while I
Oh,
was gone. But it's
really?
okay. They didn't take anything important. But I actually don't know if I've ever given you keys to the safe room. Do you have any on you?
I don't think so. Would you want me to take a look at the door?
Yeah, sure, if you want to. Are you good with your hands? Do you think you could fix it up?
Ash raises an eyebrow. Yeah, you could say so.
Well, okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna ask, is that I might make you roll half for that, unless that was a coincidence.
It could be. To roll, let me roll. Let's do it.
Okay.
Oh my god, my hot sucks, doesn't it? Let me check. It does. It's a -1. Ooh, damn!
Oh my, wow, congratulations. Tal got your curse from the last game. For real. Okay,
Yeah.
well, an 11 is a complete success. So that means you get a string on Vera. I actually get to choose how Vera reacts, correct?
Yeah, you decide.
Okay, well, I think. Hmm. I think that Vera, when she hears this, she raises her eyebrows too, and she's like, "Oh wow! Like, whenever you have time, I'd love a demonstration. I got lots of stuff you can fix."
Oh gosh. I think Ash just gets a little surprised, but kind of just leans into it a bit and like just gives a nod and smiles a little bit and goes to the back.
Okay, Ash, when you make it to the back of the shop, you notice that the door is sort of being hit by that gust of wind a tiny bit. You feel as though this was actually not done with a lot of force. Sort of as you were really quick with opening the briefcase, you noticed that this was probably done with a really steady hand. Somebody put some time into breaking through this lock, and now it's not really going to work. Do you want to check around the area, or do you want to attempt to fix the door?
Check around the area, you mean outside or inside the shop if there's like anything missing?
I think both.
I'll take a look around.
All right. When you're peeking out, you notice that there are this trail of footprints. They've sort of been covered slightly by the sandstorm, but from what you can tell, a lot of the movements seem to happen a little bit after, since they're still kind of visible. And you also notice that there has been a scope that's been buried in the bushes beside the door. The scope is a fixture that fits onto a rifle. And in terms of things that are missing, it looks like nothing was disturbed except the filing cabinets. And from what you can tell, nothing has been taken. They've just been really messed up, and it'll take a long time to reorganize.
Very suspicious. Would I be able to follow the footsteps?
Ooh, yeah, you could if you want to.
Okay, I'll take the scope. I think she would try to follow it. What should I roll?
Dark.
Okay, it's good. Oof! Ouch.
Oh. So when you try to follow them, it seems there's so many footsteps and so many scattered places you can't tell where they were coming from or where they were going. The only clear thing is that they seem to have circled the building quite a few times, and all that's left of them is this little scope.
Okay. Damn. That was the worst it could be.
You could ask around in town to see if anybody uses a rifle, or you could head back to the altar to meet up with your coven. You could also stay and work. It's totally up to you.
Okay. Would I be able to ask the abyss who this belongs to? Or is that too much?
I'll give you, yeah, you can ask the Abyss who owns the scope.
Okay. Please. Okay. A 9.
All right, a 9 is a mixed success, so you'll see some confusing visions, but you'll get your answer. And you notice that there is this figure with long, coily hair, this sort of poncho that's been half thrown over their shoulder, and a large scar that runs down one of their eyes. They've set their rifle against the back of the building and have a toolkit around their waist, trying to slowly unscrew all of the different locking mechanisms from outside and pick the door. You have never seen this person before, and this vision is a little confusing to you, but ultimately you get a relatively clear picture of this character.
Okay. I think Ash might try to like fix the door a little bit for Vera and then tell her that she found something around and we'll go ask about like to see who might have done this.
All right. I'm going to say that you are able to fix up the door relatively quickly. It's a little bit impressive. Based on your skills opening the briefcase, I think that you do manage to do it. And as you sort of walk back, you can ask Vera. Before that happens, I'd like to check in with Knox, who has been waiting to go chat with Taya.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, Knox, Your elevator ride took 10 years. I'm so
My
sorry.
elevator ride took 1 hour and 43 minutes.
We're going back in time for you, I promise.
It's okay.
So you make it up to the top of the penthouse. The doors to the elevator open into the penthouse. There's no like hallway you have to cross through. It literally just all belongs to cult operations, and it's rather exquisite. And you don't really see Taya around. You probably have to circle around and look for them. What do you want to do? What are you thinking? What do you look like? We didn't check in on you.
Yeah. I think that Knox is currently wearing a long-sleeved sweater and wearing shorts. A bit shorter than usual, so they're just a bit above the knee, and also sneakers. Their hair is still kind of like spiky and ruffled, and yeah, just the glasses as well.
Do you want to look around at all, or do you want to make a beeline straight for Taya?
I think that Knox is gonna look around because I don't think Knox gets up here that often. Gets there from time to time, but like, especially recently, it's somewhat rare for him to be up here. So it's just kind of like taking it in a little bit. And what does he see around?
There seems to be a lot of animal trophy skulls around. You know that Taya doesn't really like to waste, and they like the surrounding area of the desert to be cleaned up. So anytime that there is a hunt, Taya likes to keep the skulls. There are a couple desks and large bookshelves populating the walls, and oil lamps everywhere. This is an extreme fire hazard, but you're sure that Taya would be able to handle it. There's a sort of like cozy looking armchair that you remember from when the operation didn't used to be in the altar from a couple years ago, and it's kind of nostalgic. But other than that, it seems sort of like mostly like a den. Taya's bed is tucked away in a corner, and the entire ceiling is this large dome of glass. So you can see everything in the sky, all the
Ooh.
stars at night, and all the storms that happen throughout the summer.
How is the weather right now? Is it like sunny or?
It's cloudy and gray, and you can hear the wind howling against the windows.
Okay. So this is a side thing, but like this glass dome reminds me of Horizon's Forbidden West thing that you have with the god, where everything around. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I just want to say that because that's literally how I'm picturing it in my head. Anyways.
The Gaia room. Oh my god.
Yes. Anyway, I think that like as you were describing, Knox was just walking around with his hands in his pockets, kind of like slowly walking towards the center of the room. And then like when he sees the chair that you mentioned, he makes a little snacky smile and actually kind of goes to the chair, slowly like sits there and takes it in. And it's just like, ah, nice. I miss this chair. Just sits there for a little while.
I think while Knox is making himself comfortable, Teo will probably round the corner to take a look at them just once over and then look away and walk towards the desk.
When Knox sees Taya, he says, "Has anybody ever told you that you're kind of creepy the way that you just like, you appear out of nowhere?"
Taya says nothing to that.
I miss this chair, dude. And then kind of like he looks down, grips the armrest. Wow, I wish I had this in my room. That will help, maybe. With my
Taya shoots a look over their shoulder at Knox, but still says nothing.
Well, lovely weather today, huh? And then looks up to the dome and at the cloudy sky.
At this, Taya turns around and sort of hunches their shoulders up, tenses them, and places their hands against the back of the desk to face Knox, and doesn't look up from under their cap and says, "What are you doing here?"
First of all, maybe I thought you would miss me, right? Since you care for me so much. But I kind of wanted to check in with you. I'm a bit sorry for how things turned out yesterday. Should have been a bit more alert. And I was just wondering if you have anything for me. Any goes a bit more serious right now. And you can kind of sense like he's trying to be a bit more straight. Like he sits properly now when he's saying that. Like straightens up a little bit.
You know, for someone who's been with me for so long, I didn't know you still needed me to give you instructions.
Oh, damn. I'm sorry. Should I go? And I can just point to the elevator.
Taya lets out like a relaxed sigh. They sort of have a soft spot for Knox. And then they look at the table as if they're sort of checking if there's anything that they can give Knox to do. And they pick up a sort of manila folder and walk over to Knox. Knox, as you feel Taya get closer, there's a sort of dread that fills you. Taya has always taken care of you and looked out for you and given you a home, but especially after the display last night, you do have to remember that they are still someone that's an authority figure to you, and you don't really want to disappoint them. They open the folder and they start looking through files and almost mockingly say, "Is there anything you want to do?"
Oh, so many things you have no idea. Like, I would really love a bubble bath right now. Like, I haven't had one in a long time. I'm pretty tired, you know?
Teo will look down at you, like down their nose at you. They are not smiling. They are very tired of your bullshit.
And to that, Max just raises his hands like, okay, sorry. I don't know. I don't really have plans for today specifically. I was wondering if you wanted me to get some action. I haven't paid visit to people in a while. I'm kind of starting to get a bit itchy. But if you have anything else for me to do, I can do that.
Dante and Tal are both doing very important work, and I don't think I have anybody keeping track of our little disruptive characters from last night. If you want to pay someone a visit, you could probably check in on them. I'd like to know what they've done with my documents.
Right. Yes. I can certainly do that. Yes. Okay. And kind of like slowly stands up. Great. And kind of eyes the folder that he's holding. And for now, like, Ted didn't do anything with the folder, right? Just took it towards Knox?
Taya's not really holding it towards you at all, actually. They're holding it relatively close to their chest. It sort of seemed like they were using it as an opportunity to find something for him to do.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Well, if you want me to do that, I can do that. Sorry for bothering you, and I will make sure I come back up here in a couple of months, if that's okay.
Taya kind of loosens their mouth a little bit. It's not a smile, but you can tell it's as close as they're willing to get for you. And they say, "If you need to come back and sit in your chair, you don't have to wait a couple months to do that. It's okay."
Ah, and to that, like, Knox gives a little grin. Oh, you do have a soft spot for me, thank you. I appreciate it.
There's an awkward silence, and then Taya kind of looks at the elevator expectantly, like they want Knox to leave now.
And Knox says, "This is my cue. Thank you so much. Great talk, as usual. Have a good day." And then just, like, heads towards the elevator.
Very nice. Okay, I think I'm going to come back to Micah now. because Micah wanted to check something out and was heading over towards Deputy. Micah, you have made it out of the hotel, and as you sort of make your way down to the stable, you might notice a car pulling around. And if you look closely, you can see it's one of the individuals from the fight from last night. The car seems to be sort of pulling up slowly. You might be able to get a really close look at this person. What do you do? What are you thinking right now?
Does Micah recognize the car, or basically can they guess who is inside?
I mean, I guess it's up to you. You have a pretty clear view of this person. You can see them perfectly clearly.
Okay. Micah's gonna keep on walking to the stables, but take off their hat. Yeah, just real quick, they did put on their hat and chaps for riding, and their dress shirt where they roll up the sleeves because it is cloudy today, so it's not that hot. So as they walk to the stables, they take off their hat and just run their hand through their hair for a moment and then put their hat back on while taking a quick glance at the person in the car. Can we reveal who it is?
Yeah, so Dante, you are pulling around in the car, and Micah's blue hair from last night is extremely recognizable, and you sort of see them out of the driver's window. You guys are pretty close to each other. Dante, what do you think when you see this person?
Oh, I think Dante's just gonna stop for a moment, roll down the window, and say, "You good?"
Micah's just gonna keep on walking
Okay.
and ignore Dante.
All right. Okay. Well, Dante's not gonna bother Micah no longer, and they'll just shrug their shoulders and keep on driving.
When you look to your side, Cam, who's in the passenger seat, still has a dog until you ask her to become a human. She's sort of like staring at you in the way that dogs do when they're trying to understand something. Do you want to say anything to Cam?
What is it, Cam? What are you thinking?
She like breathes out through her nose. Like,
You know, I can't understand you like this. Can you maybe turn now?
as you say this almost black spectral tentacle shape kind of forms around the dog's head, envelops all of the features, except for the eyes, which continue to be that deep black color. And then eventually her arms come out of this goop and her legs eventually fold over each other. And then the blackness kind of shrinks down and she's sitting in the car as a person.
Thank you. Like, I prefer you sometimes, in a dog form because you don't get to talk that much then, but I'm really having trouble understanding you right now.
You're a dick.
So are you.
Also, I didn't really need to ask anything. I guess I was just sort of wondering if you had anything to say about that.
Oh, last night was pretty intense. It was just checking about our guests. That's all.
Nah. Where the fuck are we going again? You didn't tell me.
I'm quickly gonna stop in Vera's shop. I have to think about something.
I have
So
to take the car for that?
well, I'm just making a stop, alright?
Yeah. Do you need me to come inside or?
No, I think you can. Waiting here.
Yeah, right, nice. She doesn't like me very much.
Yeah, I noticed. What happened between you two?
Nothing. I just don't think she likes dogs.
Who doesn't like dogs?
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you a dog person? It's kind of weird.
I don't really have other choice, right? If I really want to make this thing work out. And Dante kind of points between Cam and themselves.
Wow. You're considerate. Fascinating.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do things you don't like, but it's for the greater purpose.
Hey, why didn't you do anything about that kid throwing peanuts at me?
I just didn't want to start anything this early in the morning, and I do have some things to do and take care of, and they're just a distraction right now. But don't worry, you'll have your chance. Better.
You know they made me feel like a circus animal, right? I was like a little elephant on a ball, and they were like, "Oh, look, peanuts. Here you go. Next time you should let me bite her. Just once. Just for fun."
At this, Dante does feel a little bit bad, and they utter a sorry under their breath. And they say, "Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'll promise you'll have your fun with her."
Cam, takes a fist and punches Dante in the shoulder. I was like, God, you're so serious. Fucking lighten up. Jesus.
Maybe I will, just for you. Today, I am like, why not? Fine.
Thank you.
Do you want ice cream?
Just take us the 200 meters to the fucking shop and leave me inside with the windows rolled down, okay?
Okay. Let's go.
Dante, you make it to the shop despite Cam's whining and moaning, and you're able to make it inside. As you sort of hear the little bell, you notice Ash, who has come forward to ask Vera a question. And when you enter, they both turn to look at you. What do you do?
First, Dante just greets Vera before noticing Ash there. They're like, good morning, Miss Han. I was wondering, and then they kind of trail off after noticing Ash there. And they turn to her instead. You were there last night.
I think as soon as Ash noticed like Dante walking in, they immediately hid the scope like under the balcony, whatever it's called, the table, the counter. Yes, the counter. Me processing English, English words.
And Dante noticed that?
I would say that you probably see her arm move kind of swiftly, sort of like a oop, but you don't know what it was.
Okay, yeah.
And I don't think there was like anything really too suspicious about Ash that Dante would notice that happened the day before. They just got stiff and aware, but not too concerned at the moment.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking because despite the fact that Dante didn't really pay much attention to Ash last night, they still caught the sight of her because I think Dante's quite perceptive.
Okay. I think Ash just says, yeah, you were at the altar last night. Weren't you like on that big commotion that was happening?
Yeah, wasn't my fault though.
Ah, no, yes, I saw that other person like kind of starting the fight. Are you good? You need anything?
Yeah, I just need to sit down a little bit and think about something.
Oh,
Miss
is
Han.
there?
Oh,
What are
sorry.
you looking for? Is there anything on the shop that you would like to take a look at?
No, not exactly. And then Dante turns to Vera and says, "Hi, Miss Han, is it okay if I take my usual spot for 10 minutes?"
Oh yeah, of course. Sorry. I'm so rude. Where are my manners? Welcome back.
Thank you.
You didn't bring anybody with you by chance, did you?
No, I'm alone.
Oh, nice.
Why? Is there something going on here? Am I disturbing
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, last time you came in, I had a flea problem for a couple days, so would love to
not have to deal with that again.
Wait, are you joking or?
Varric smiles and shakes her head, and you can't tell if she's joking or serious.
Oh god. All right. Well, Dante will make a mental note of that for later. And yeah, then they're just gonna head towards their little spot in the shop and sit down and take out a little notebook.
I think as Dante leaves, Ash is just like turn a little bit, so Dante wouldn't see her expression, and just looks at Vera with a questioning look and a raised eyebrow, like, "What's going on?"
Varric kind of can't respond with Dante in the room, so she sort of just raises her eyebrows on her shoulders and her hands, like, I don't know what to tell you.
I think they go for a little brief moment without saying anything and without then understanding what they're saying to each other.
Yeah, just kind of like gesturing wildly at each other and whispering. What do you want me
Yeah.
to say? Does Ash want Vera to look at the scope at all?
Yeah, after Dante goes over to the table, she kind of says it more quietly. "I got you a little trinket outside," and shows her the scope.
For me? I love presents. And then she sort of looks over at Dante to see if they're paying attention. Are they paying attention at all, or are they focused on the book?
I think right now, like, they're mostly focused on the little notebook they have, but they do keep an ear open. Just in case some info drops that might be useful for them.
Vera kind of like in a voice that's like a little bit too loud so that she knows Dante's hearing. She's like, wow, Ash, I think I need you to look at the lower display case with me. Oh, excuse me, Dante. I'll just be a minute. And then she ducks behind the counter.
Oh my god. uh, yeah. I just think, oh god. And just goes with her.
She's inspecting the scope and looks at Ash. She's like, where exactly did you find this?
I was taking a look at the door. There was some footsteps outside, and I saw this around.
She like runs her fingers over the scope like she's looking for something, and when she feels it, she sort of drops her shoulders and then passes it to Ash. And Ash, you can see that on the scope there is a sort of carved out chain link that's in part of the piece of the metal on the top. And she starts biting the skin around her nails like she's not focusing.
I recognize it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, there was, because I succeeded my dark roll last time asking about the scope. I also could ask something about someone hunting me.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I just want to ask, was this person after me? Like, that's why they were here. Could that be a question?
I'm gonna say that that person was not hunting you.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to ask a question about someone who could be looking for you? I would say probably that the only two candidates for that are Tal and Taya.
Oh man. Okay, I can ask about Taya. Did I put Vera in danger by Taya seeing us together?
When they saw the two of you together, they definitely made a note of it, and Vera's shop may not be just as safe as it used to be, but no one currently wants to hurt her. But you begin to think that maybe these things are connected.
Yeah. Okay. Ash kind of like realizes what that might be, and I think this might be about yesterday, actually.
What? Really?
Yeah. You saw the Taya saw us going into the elevator last night.
I mean, Taya's never given me trouble before. I mean, we're sitting in the shop with a goddamn choir member right now.
Yeah, but they might care about the little mess that I did yesterday.
It wasn't that big of a mess, was it?
Um,
Oh no.
uh, Ash doesn't know like how to reply to that because it's more than Vera knows about. Let's just say that maybe the papers that I threw were kind of important.
Hmm. All right, well, do you want to stay here or I don't I don't really know what you should get up to. Maybe you could look around a little bit more. I've never seen anything like this.
I think it's better if I just don't really come here for a little bit. I swear this is not just so I can get out of work.
Are you sure? Ah,
Just make sure to check the locks. I tried to fix a little bit the door backstairs.
do you want me to stay away from you too?
What kind of question is that, Miss God?
It's a question you must make a decision on.
Ash just ponders for a bit. Just be careful, I guess.
Oh, wow. All right. I'll keep it in mind. You may want to get out of here. I really don't know if Dante was sent here on purpose.
Yeah. Ash kind of gets up, like from the position, and kind of speaks like loudly, so that's easy to. Okay, I'll go get that package for you. Um, okay, you need it now, right?
Vera also pops up and is like, yeah, wow, thank you for the help on that bottom display case. Please go get the package for me.
Yeah. And they kind of just give a quick look to Dante and just get out of the work clothes and like kind of makes their way outside.
I love Ash so much. She's so awkward. Oh my god. Okay, Ash, I'll say that you are able to make it outside, and now I'm gonna say that we're gonna do Tal and Morgan, and then we're gonna do Knox, and then we're gonna finish off with Micah. Tal, you made it into the sort of room that leads down somewhere. There are stairs. And Morgan, you finished throwing your peanuts at Cam. Morgan, what did you want to do when some time passes and Tal does not come out to get their wallet?
Morgan's gonna go around the corner where they last saw Tao and see what's happening over there.
All right. Tal, did you think to drop the crate on the ground after unlocking the door and heading downstairs?
No. Tal took the crate with them.
No,
Or-
I mean like after you unlocked the door and brought the crate inside, did you lock the door behind you or did you just keep walking?
Oh, no. Yes, like Tal will lock it. Like it's a passage and she was given keys too, so she's gonna make sure it's locked.
All right. Morgan, I'm going to say that you did hear a door click shut. And if you'd like, you could potentially gaze into the abyss, use your cursed hand, or try a couple other things. But it's totally up to you. What do you want to do in this moment?
Let me look at my moveset.
The cursed hand scares me. I don't know what it can do.
I think the cursed hand is strong. I'm going to give you a +1 to volatile anytime you use the cursed hand to like do a specific action. But if you're just doing regular volatile things, then you don't get any modifier.
Okay, I think. Would it be possible to like try and physically open it with the cursed harm, or is that not an option? It's totally cool if it isn't a possibility.
You'd have to break the door.
Potentially, could I roll for that though?
Yeah, you could roll volatile, and then if you roll really high, maybe you could break the door without completely destroying it, and then a mixed success, I think you'd probably fail.
All right, sick. I'm gonna try. That's a 10.
All right, a 10 is a complete success, so I'm gonna say that. Do you want to
Oh, sorry.
actually describe what your cursed hand looks like when you do these sort of magical engagements?
Yeah, Morgan's gonna place her right arm on the door, hold it firmly, and even though the whole arm is wrapped in bandages, under the layer of bandages, there's like a faint kind of glow of yellow underneath it, and in some areas where like there's a small slip where they're showing the skin, there's a glowing yellow light, and then there's like a pulse of steam slowly coming out of the arm as she kind of like exerts pressure on the door.
All right. As all of this happens, I'm going to say that because you had such a good roll, the door latch kind of crumples under your weight and breaks, and you're able to force the door open. And there's a kind of damp, dripping noise when you get inside. This room is unlike any of the other rooms. It's not done up, it's not manicured, and there's just like a
Ew.
long staircase that descends into a darkness. What do you want to do?
Okay, wait, so quick question. Is this like room or the staircase area, is this choir territory or is this like still part of the neutral territory?
You have no idea.
Oh my god. Is it like pitch dark?
Yeah, it's pitch black. The area around your arm emits a light, so you are able to see a little bit, but you'd have to unbandage your arm to get a full benefit of its glow.
Okay, sick. Then yeah, Morgan's gonna unbandage like her forearm and kind of use that as like a torchlight as she walks.
All right. Tal, you hear a noise behind you. There are 3 people with keys to this door, and you're pretty sure Chrissy is not coming downstairs. What do you do?
Has Tal descended down the stairs yet, or like was there time in between Morgan going to the door and breaking it open?
I think that there was enough time that Tal is maybe like 2 full minutes ahead of Morgan. So the door closed, and Morgan had to exert some energy and spend some time trying to break it open. And in
Mhm.
this time, Tal was able to walk downstairs and head down a path.
Okay. And can you remind me for the crate? It said for soloists, and it's probably a delivery for, you said the basement?
Yeah, they call it the basement, but it's not really a basement.
Are we in the basement?
You are in the catacombs.
The catacombs. Okay. Well, fuck. Where's the basement? Oh shit!
You got lost.
Yeah, did I go in the wrong place? Screaming.
No, this is
Okay.
the correct place for you, but there's like a storeroom in the catacombs where you're likely to be able to put it. There's a couple special rooms in this labyrinth. That's
Okay,
so
okay.
funny. Did I get
Forgive
lost?
me. Yeah, I was like, forgive me.
Don't worry.
Okay, that was a pretty loud sound, huh? From the door being ripped open like
Yeah.
that. Oh my
No,
fucking god.
it was quite loud, and you do feel kind of like sweat on the back of your neck. So someone has definitely followed you in here.
Okay. Not good. Well, in that case, Tal's definitely kind of like hot on their heels now and wants to hide the crate above all else to store it in its proper area so that it's not in danger. Is any of the storerooms like far from here?
So the catacombs are part of an old mining tunnel structure, and they branch off in multiple different directions into a sort of labyrinth. You know this area relatively well, so you would be able to trace your steps to the storeroom. But you do have to think about whether or not you want to potentially lead this person into the storeroom or if you want to lead them to a dead end.
Okay. Since Tal knows this area pretty well, is there like a place where she can kind of conceal this crate? Is there anything in the vicinity?
Yeah, if you were to walk straight and then make a left, there's a long shaft that leads to a mining foyer. It's where a lot of the tools and supplies used to be held. This is actually where you guys bring your gunpowder, your ammunition, extra saddles, extra weaponry, and you imagine that this would be a good place to store it. If you wanted to go to a different location, you'd have to spend a little bit more time in the labyrinth.
No, I think Tal's just gonna drop it off really quick, and it's just probably gonna look like another part of the weapons cache, more than likely, because it's a crate.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna put it there, and then and then probably head back towards to where the sound was going, or like hold on, because I'm trying to get like a mental image of what these tunnels look like. After dropping off the crate, can Tal kind of like wait and see what happens to see if that person or whoever broke down the door comes down?
Yeah. Morgan, if you'd like, you can make a chance roll to try to follow Tal into the dark, or you can wait and do something slightly safer.
I will take that chance roll. Let's see. Roll 2d6 plus 2. I rolled a 9.
All right. Wow. Okay. This gamble works out mostly in your favor, but because you didn't roll perfectly, Tal will know that you're walking towards them.
Okay.
Oh my god. Wait, have I reached the area with the cache yet? Or like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to gauge like where we're at in this dank little area.
Yeah, so you have absolutely already dropped it in the cache, as you
Okay.
sort of said before. So you could walk back towards Morgan if you wanted to.
Yes. Gonna walk back towards Morgan. Yeah, towards that direction. And then they kind of run their hand through their hair and kind of like try and slick it back again a little bit just to keep some composure. And is there like a glowing from this arm? Is there like a light source that Tal is seeing?
Shit, wait, is there?
So I would also like to say, Tal, how are you seeing in the dark? Do you maybe have a light on you?
Tal has ignited a flame in their hand to like walk around.
Hell yeah, they have. God, I love Tal. Okay, when you come face to face, yes, Morgan's arm is glowing, and Morgan, you see that Tal is holding a fire, a small fire in their hands. What do you two do?
You looking for a funeral after last night?
Morgan's gonna like look around and be like, "Oh gosh, darn it! I must have gone lost. I don't know how I ended up down here. I'm so sorry. I will get out of your way." And she's gonna start walking away.
Away after revealing their glowing arm.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So wait, Morgan, did you turn around and walk back the way that you came, or are you trying to walk
Yeah.
past Tal?
Yeah, walk past Tal.
What?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, no, there's no way. Like, you're gonna see Tal's like frame stiffen up and get into Morgan's line of direction, and then is just looking at them. Exits the way back from when you came. If you're lost, I can take you out.
See, I appreciate the offer, but I just can't help but feel like there's something interesting right behind you. You know what? I will be real quick, like in and out. You won't even, you know what? And she's gonna try and push past Tal.
Oh my god.
Like the customer you can't get rid of at closing.
Holy lord. Okay, Tal is like kind of prepped to see that coming. That they probably weren't gonna comply. So when that happens, like Tal is gonna try in retaliation to like duck down and like take Morgan onto their shoulder, or kind of like in a tackle in a way, but not really. I
Oh.
can't really describe it. Yeah, like
Wait, like, do you mean like fireman carry? Like Tal's gonna try and like pick them
Like
up at the
Vel
hips and
carry,
throw them?
like-
but it
Scream.
feels more like it's definitely more forceful, and it could be taken as a kind of an altercation because it's, dude, what the fuck are you even doing here? Like,
All right, roll volatile. Also, I believe you have a move hot in here.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that you might be able to use if you wanted to, but I'm
This is
just
going great for me.
You know, why the fuck not? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the move hot in here. But also, can I roll volatile for the action towards Morgan?
Yeah, that
The
can
hot
be
roll
like the inciting of hot in here if you
for
want, because after you roll volatile, you can do it.
okay, cool. I'll roll volatile. Volatile's +2. Hot in here is you have a way of lowering other people's inhibitions after you turn someone on or lash out physically. Everyone in there, including you, can add +1 further rolls to turn someone on or lash out physically until you leave this space.
Oh my
And
god.
I rolled a
so
10.
You rolled a 10.
Wait till what?
So
Is
it's
this
an
new?
11. Yeah.
Okay, so Tal rolled a complete success. So what that means is that Morgan, you take a harm.
Okay.
And then Tal, do you want to describe like the complete action or do you want me to do it?
Do it. Give me that flavor, Miss God.
So, Morgan, you are trying to deftly skirt past Tal, and Tal is not buying it for a second. They drop their shoulder into your like stomach groin area, and all of a sudden the wind is knocked out of you, and you're off your feet, and you're kind of on their shoulder, and you can feel your arm pulsating, and it really hurt. And you have to stutter a moment before you're able to respond. How do you want to respond?
Can I steal something else off of them?
The fuck?
When you leave a room with somebody, you can steal.
Oh, right. My bad. Let's see. How far away is the door from where Tal just entered?
So
Or
the
exited?
door, the weapons cache is open, so there's no door because it's a shaft. But the exit to get out of here is probably like a minute or two back the way you came.
Morgan is gonna let Tal pick her up, and then we'll be like, all right, I will get out of your hair. I promise. Just let me down.
I was not gonna let Morgan down. And is gonna start making their way back up the stairs. She's like, I don't know. You've got my wallet. You broke your fucking way down here. You're out of here.
This is really unnecessary. I could walk perfectly fine myself. Speaking of the wallet, I cannot help but notice there's some interesting photos in there.
Yeah. You say that about everybody else's wallet you steal, or?
Oh yeah, I got plenty. But I don't know, I'm curious. You got someone special?
It's just a picture, and then Tal doesn't say anything else, and then is not really gonna try and fall into that. Morgan, like, poking them.
Alright, so you're completely content if I keep that photo, huh?
Morgan may or may not feel their thighs probably burning a little bit because of where they're holding them. It's not burning, but it's like there's like a hot sensation, but they're still not saying anything.
Oh, struck a nerve, I guess. God damn.
How? No. Oh my god.
We're just like chilling on your shoulder.
Yeah, I know, that's hilarious. It's hysterical.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say that Tal, at this point, you've made it back to that central room, and you sort of inspect that the door handle has been really severely tampered with. It's gonna be hard to fix and also pretty hard to explain. What do you want to do with Morgan at this point?
I'm so sorry. Tal is gonna like kind of flop them back onto the ground. Like just kind of throw them onto the ground. Past the door's threshold if possible.
Yeah.
And then Tal is gonna look down at them and then say, you can keep what you want. I don't give a damn.
Alright. I guess I'll just have to show it to the rest of my friends, I suppose. Maybe we'll figure out who it is.
I'm sure you've already shown it.
Wait, so the door is just like unlocked, right?
Oh, it's gone. Isn't it like off the hinges?
No, the door is like you were able to open it, but it looks like the locking mechanism is broken.
Oh,
So
okay,
what you
okay.
could likely do is, if you're feeling frisky, you could probably weld it shut with your hands.
Oh
Um,
god.
uh,
But like in theory, I could open it again right now.
right now, yeah, you could open again. You're standing, looking down at Morgan in the portal of the door, right?
Yeah, like near the bathrooms, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes.
Morgan is gonna get up off the floor and smile and walk away. That
All right.
arm just glowing.
Yeah, Morgan's
Well,
not
no,
gonna
she's
rebandage the arm.
oh yeah, no. As she walks away, she's gonna rebandage it. Forgot about that.
Oh my god.
Okay, like, well, as Morgan is walking away, is there anything else notable about this arm? Because it's fucking weird. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, so like the upper arm past the forearm is like still wrapped, so she's rewrapping like the
Oh,
lower part of the
shit.
arm. But yeah, you just see like scar patterns across the arm that are kind of glowing yellow a bit as she rewraps it.
Oh, man. This is so rad.
Yeah, this is dope.
Holy shit. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Tals has not made any comment about the arm, but has definitely like kept stock of what they had just seen. And Tal kind of like just exhales because they seem like they haven't caught a break since last night at all, and is just standing by the door, and then yeah, probably decides to weld it shut by putting their hand on the locking mechanism and then burning it for a second.
All right.
Morgan is gonna head back upstairs to report to Haley, but as she walks out of Tal's sight, she's gonna look back at Tal and cheerfully say, "Make sure to say hi to T for me."
Tal squints their eyes at Morgan and is thinking if I don't think Morgan is familiar at all to Tal. I don't think, right?
No, yeah, she's not.
Okay. Tal doesn't say anything, but is just looking at Morgan till like they walk away. And Morgan can probably see like at the mention of Taya's name or like being referred to, like you see in like their eyes go bright glint really quick before it scatters off back dark.
All right. Oh, well, I love them, and I'm gonna die.
So since I'm leaving the room, what did I steal?
You were able to take out of the dirt of the mine shaft a little sort of remnant of a spike. And it looks, well, it feels like pretty heavy. The metal is a little bit weird in your hand.
Okay, cool.
All right. Knox, we're going back in time for you again because you finished your conversation with Taya. It didn't take too long. And now you've headed back into the elevator. What exactly do you want to do right now?
I think that Knox is gonna look from the balcony downstairs and see what he sees.
Okay, so you went to the second floor to look out at the lobby?
Yes, he went to the first floor.
I mean, what you probably saw at this point in time is you likely saw Dante just crossing through the door with Cam because Cam had to get woken up by Dante. You might also be seeing Micah following through, like by the central entrance area. And you would potentially catch a glimpse of Morgan, but she's been kind of obscured by the people in the bar at this point. She's waiting for Tal to come out of the bathroom.
I don't think that like Knox knows where Haley is staying.
Haley has stayed in the same hotel room most of the time when she visits. She does know Chrissy pretty well, so Chrissy keeps it open for her, so she's allowed to keep her little conspiracy theory corkboard on the wall without having to take it down every single time. So he would know where she is. It's up to him if he would want to go talk to her.
Okay. After inspecting a bit like what was going on downstairs, I think he will go back to the elevator then. Yeah, and he's gonna go towards Haley's room.
Okay.
Yeah, let me turn you into Haley. Yes, he knocks. Knocks.
Transformation. Magical girl transformation.
Knox is knoxing.
Knox is knocking on the door. You hear from the inside like a muffled just a second, and then she opens the door, sees your face, and then kind of steps out into the hallway and tries to close the door just a bit to look at you and says, "Well, hi."
Hello, Marshall. What's up?
Nothing, just working. What are you doing here? I don't usually see you in the morning.
Yeah, we couldn't sleep last night. Well, what are you up to?
I have a little project out in the desert, and I wanted to give it a shot, taking a look at it. What about you, pretty boy?
Oh, can I come with you with your little project? Like,
You want to accompany me on my project? I thought we don't talk about work.
yeah, we don't talk about work, but I mean, we can still spend time together, right?
Wait, hold on. Are you asking me on a date?
Yes, I'm formally asking you on a date. And then, like, he kinda makes a half bow down, like, with the hand, like, down. One hand, like, on his chest, and, like, the other hand out.
The bow would have to be so low to get to Haley's level because Haley is miniature. So I think Haley kind of smiles and laughs a bit at this, and her eyes glow again. She's usually like a bit relaxed around Knox, even though the situation probably wouldn't call for it. And she sort of looks both ways around the hallway and is like, "I'm sorry, did you need to come in, or should we talk about the project downstairs in your room? Well, I don't know what's preferable."
I mean, I haven't seen your room in a while. I wouldn't mind just coming in.
It's messy. Could I have a second to clean it a little?
Oh, I mean, I've seen messy, don't you think? And Nux kind of smiles at that.
Okay, well, I'll leave it up to your discretion, but I think that you should roll up for that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Okay, let me do that.
I've seen messy. I hate Knox. Indicator plus. Oh, God.
10.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, Knox, you can mark down that you get a Haley string.
Yes.
And I think that Haley probably like leans into it again, even though she doesn't want to show Knox her room. And she's like, "Oh, I know, but we haven't gotten this messy in a long time. Are you sure you don't want to ease into it again?"
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the actual room. And then it makes like a devilish smile.
Oh, Haley doesn't really know what to say. And she's like, "Okay, just a second." And she goes into the room and closes the door in Knox's face.
Nux kind of
then-
laughs out loud a little bit at that and just stays in the hallway, like with his hands in his pockets, just kind of waiting in front of the door.
She picks up the corkboard off the wall, spins it around, and it's a painting of Javelin, and she tries to hang it back up, but she's having trouble. And then she moves some of the documents under her bed, and you hear the shuffling papers, and she goes back to the door and opens it and kind of leans her elbow on it nonchalant, like, "You can come in now if you want."
That was an intense reworking the room around. Like, wow, that's impressive. And then it kind of like moves to get inside the room.
I like to impress you.
I know you do. You do impress me sometimes.
Sometimes. Her like horns peek out at the crown of her head. "I'm sorry. I beg your pardon."
Would Nux realize that?
Yeah, I think he'd probably see them a little bit.
If Ellie's not moving when the horns poke a little bit, Nux will probably go around Ellie by touching one of the horns, like the pointy thing, just going around Haley and then toward inside the room.
She gets indignant, even more so because he didn't say anything. And she's gonna cross her arms over her chest, huff, and look at him. What's he doing?
It's kind of like taking in the room because it's been a little while since it's been there. Like, I'm kind of imagining the like last time that they've seen each other, they kind of like hang around Knox's room, which is kind of sterile. It's not really, there's not much going on there. But I suppose there is more going on in here, a little bit. And so, like, he's kind of just trying to see what he sees.
I mean, I think Knox would see like Haley has a little coil of rope that she likes to carry on her arm whenever she's riding with Deputy. She has a little journal filled with papers and misshapen notes on her bedside table, and her shirts are kind of, it looks like they've come out of the suitcase a little bit, almost like when she closed the door to rearrange her room, she was like, should I wear something else? And for some reason, even though it's clean, it feels a little bit lived in.
Is there any place to sit except for the bed, or is the bed the only place there?
There's a little like kitchenette, there's a table and chairs by the
Right.
window, and there's a couch as well close to there.
I think that, like, in a similar fashion to how Knox was walking in the room, in Taya's room upstairs, I think that Knox is kind of like slowly walking in, taking his time, and then like he just flops on the couch and crosses his legs more like, you know, when there is just one leg on top of the other one, with the heel that's on the knee, stays back with one hand on the support of the back of the couch.
Go ahead, make yourself comfortable, I guess.
Oh, I would never. I'm just, you know, I would never do such a thing. And then he keeps looking around and he looks at the journal and is like, do you write about me there?
What would you like me to write? You want me to write our names in hearts? Put little arrows through them? Well, what do you expect?
That's exactly what I expect. You could show me if you have anything like that.
Haley walks over to the desk and picks up the journal away from Knox. I don't think you'll be going through this. Thank you very much, though.
Oh, boo-hoo. I guess I won't show you my journal then.
I'm sorry. You journal? I didn't think people who grew as tall as you could pick up a pen.
Oh, right, because pens, like, they grow on the ground, right? We can't pick them up.
No, I just thought when you're tall and hot, you don't need to journal about your feelings.
Oh. Oh, wow. She thinks I'm hot. Thank you.
How long have we been doing this? Huh? Don't play dumb.
All right. I kind of missed you. I wanted to see you, and you're looking good. You want to stay here with me?
Why are you here? You missed me? I don't know. Really?
Ouch. Damn. All right. I know that I'm not good at showing my emotions, but why is everybody so mean to me? And it gives a weird face. It's weird. It's weird to decipher.
So I think that there's a table that's in front of the couch. I think Haley's gonna set the book down on her desk just underneath the painting and kind of walk purposefully over, sit on the table, and look at Knox and kind of smile.
I just came here on a whim. Didn't have big plans to talk about our lives. And then he kind of like leans forward a little bit and brushes one of his hands, the external part of Haley's thigh. He's gonna like, just miss being in your presence.
Okay, I'm sorry, but
I threw off a lot of that, obviously.
are you kidding me? Good God.
I'm sorry. I think my luck is gonna run out right now, and this is gonna be so bad. But alas, please
We'll
God.
see.
12! What the
Okay.
fuck, man?
Okay, wow, Knox is smooth.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, well, I would say that. So you get another Haley string. So Knox got 2 Haley strings this session. That's insane.
Well, that's amazing. I have 5 strings on Haley.
Good Lord. Okay. So I think Haley will like give into the flirtation, and if like Knox has leaned forward, I think Haley would lean forward to kiss him.
Yep.
At this point, should I cut away? Or is Knox going to leave?
No, you can cut away.
We know what's happening.
You can just like
Okay.
do a pan, and then it goes to black, and then like whatever.
Okay, well, at the beginning of next session, we'll have to talk about what their moves were to see what the consequences of that decision was. Oh my god, wow. Haley doesn't need a lot of convincing. Good for her.
Look at Knox. I mean,
but to be fair, Knox rolled twice and he rolled a 10 and a 12. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, wow. Knox was like, oh, I'm gonna be like emotional and vulnerable. And Haley was like, oh, yeah.
Oh my god. Hotel service, room delivery. Oh my god. Male
Can't wait
manipulator. Oh my god.
Morgan is literally gonna go.
No. I'm gonna have to walk in on her.
This is the DJ Maya all over again with
She's
Riley.
literally burn her eyes out. I don't know what's going on. Like walking
this
in
is
on your
DJ
like
Maya
sibling.
all over again.
That's so true. Zoe can't catch a break. Like I really can't.
Morgan needs to get some. This game.
Literally. This is what I get for playing with all couples. Like.
Okay,
Oh
so
man.
we're gonna end the session with Micah, if that's okay with everybody. And Micah, you were looking for the mine shafts, right? Like the interconnected tunnels that Haley was suggesting. Do you think you've ever potentially like heard of something like this before? Do you believe this? Would you have any experience with it?
I think that Micah would have heard about it before. 1 second. Ooh! I have acquired new information.
I love
So
that.
sorry, besties.
I have acquired information from the satellite.
Yes, so Micah knows about the tunnels from prior experiences.
Micah, you know that one of the entrances to the tunnel is actually towards the canyon. You could take the horse down into parts of the canyon to try to get inside. Do you want to do that?
Yes, I just want to ask, would it make sense to take the horse, or is it also within walking distance?
You could definitely take the horse. It's a steep climb up out of the canyon, and the horse would definitely help you get out.
Okay, yeah, then Micah will saddle Deputy up and get going in that direction.
As you're trotting on the horse towards your destination, you hear the wind howling, and there's something unsettling about it. Could you make a dark roll for me?
Oh yeah, great. That sounds fun. An 8. A little bit better than last time.
All right. So an 8 is a mixed success, so you get confusing visions, but you get your answer nonetheless. Micah, you hear these whispers coming from the canyon. They're these eerie voices that sound like they're coming from down at the base of the canyon, but you know that nothing could possibly exist down there. Why are there people? Why can you hear them? And you sort of hear what sounds like choral singing, freakish and disturbing singing in unison, low moaning, low tones, and eventually it fades away and you're left back with just the wind howling.
Right, Micah takes note of that, and while it is unsettling, I feel like they could keep their cool and keep on steadily moving forward.
All right. I'd actually love if you rolled to keep your cool.
Yeah, of course, we can do that. Please don't fail me. Oh.
I believe in you.
Oh!
No.
I'm rolling so bad today.
Okay, well, Micah, you mark another experience. And as you try to breathe, Deputy gets scared and starts to rear up. And you try to calm him down, but he seems really unsettled. And as he's freaking out, you sort of realize, oh, I'm a little bit afraid too. But you've neared the entrance to the mine shaft. It has a bunch of tape in front of it to sort of suggest caution, falling rocks, don't enter, a shaft unstable. What do you want to do?
I think Micah would actually go a bit further away from the entrance and leave Deputy on the outside, because I believe they can't take the horse inside. That would be too tight, too many obstacles, right? Okay. Yeah, but leave Deputy a little bit further away from the entrance and make sure that he's safe and that he's okay and that nobody kills him, please.
Deputy will
My heart cannot. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and then step inside the mine shaft.
All right. As you get inside, you hear a sort of faint dripping sound. It's cold in here, and you'll probably need some kind of light to be able to see through the tunnel. Do you have a lighter on you?
Yeah, Micah smokes, so they always have a lighter with them.
All right. You're able to begin to walk through the tunnels, and things are a bit strange, but in some ways, you're familiar with them, right?
Not with these parts per se, or in general with the tunnels.
You've never been here specifically, but you definitely had a sensation of like you had heard that this was one of the entrances. Micah, I'm going to say that you walk for a little while. Most of the paths seem kind of labyrinthine, but you have a general idea that you want to just explore. You want to follow the straightest path so that you have the straightest exit. Tal, when you weld the door shut, do you plan to take one of the exits out of the tunnels?
Yes. Yeah, just go down. I did want to go back for the crate because I left it in the wrong place. Just want to make sure it's in its proper area and then probably make an out.
You're able to retrace your steps to the crate, relatively no problem. And then you want to head to the proper storage room, right?
Yes. Storeroom.
All right. I'd love for Micah to make a chance roll.
Oof, okay, yeah. Rolling so much tonight. Nice.
Scary. Like, why do I keep running into Coven members in the mines? Like, what?
Girl.
A 7.
Okay.
Let's
So
go.
that's a
Let's
mixed
go.
success. So I think, Tal, you're still holding the flame, right?
Yeah.
In the distance, Micah, you're going to see a bright light, like a hot light, pass in one of the passages from one side to the other. What do you want to do?
But the person, Tal, doesn't notice Micah.
You both are pretty far away from each other, and your light is much smaller. You just see them walk past. They don't really notice you.
Does it just look like a
Okay.
flame went by? Is that what it looks like?
Yeah, almost like someone holding a torch.
Okay.
Micah will try and follow without being noticed. And if it helps, they'll also turn off their lighter to not make any further light if they get closer to Tal, that is.
All right. Tal, can you make a dark roll for me?
Yes. One moment. -1. 8.
All right. An 8 is a mixed success. Once again, somebody is following you, but you don't know who it is.
Oh my god.
Poor Tal.
Dude. All right. Oh my god, this fucking crate and Tal are running for their lives, truly. Okay, so now that like we're getting into like the more labyrinth part of the catacombs, is this correct? Is there like more
Yeah.
twists and turns? Okay.
Yeah, now you're making it to the part where there's going to be dead ends. Things are going to be purposefully confusing. But again, you still know this section of catacombs pretty well.
Okay. They're walking. They're not rushed, but as they're walking, they're gonna kind of like kneel down really quick as they're walking and pick up like a rock and then like pocket it really quick. And they're gonna try and how far is the storeroom from here?
It's probably about another 2 minutes or so.
Okay.
There are a couple passages that go different directions along the way to the storeroom, though.
Okay. Jesus. I'm trying to think. So sorry. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was not
don't worry.
anticipating.
I love that you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, take your time.
I think however possible it is, Tal is gonna try and like kind of weave around some of the tunnels. Like making sudden turns, making sure that they're not walking straight so that whoever they think is following them doesn't get like a good look at them. And it's starting to kind of like not speed up, but like the strides are getting longer.
All right, Micah, you're gonna have to make a gamble to see if you can keep up with Tal or if you want to take the safe way out and just report back to somebody about these catacombs truly existing.
If it's cool, I would want to roll chance for actually following Tal, keeping up with them, and like keeping an eye on where they're going.
Absolutely, yeah, I love that.
Damn.
Please go ahead.
No!
Oh my god, no.
Oh,
What's going
Oh,
on?
no. The Accord dice bot is feeling very violent.
Honestly, I feel like Micah has leveled up at this
For real,
point.
honestly.
I'll check later.
Yeah. So the light is extinguishing, you're having trouble keeping up with it, and you begin to get a little nervous in these catacombs, and it becomes much harder to navigate. Now, you could go back the way you came, or you could go to the right, where you begin to hear wind. Why would there be wind in the tunnel? You can investigate it, or you could leave the way you came.
Do kind of want to know why there's wind. So, Micah being curious and trying to gain information, go towards the right, I think you said, and investigate that.
As you walk along the pathway, you can see a mineshaft elevator that goes down.
Micah's gonna check to see if it's still usable, if it still works.
When you press the button to call the elevator, the machine whirs. It's really loud and it rattles and clangs, and you see this metal box ascend out of darkness. And then it reaches the top, and the two fences towards the door open. Tal, you hear the elevator. It echoes through all the halls of the catacombs.
Oh god. And Tal knows where that elevator goes, right?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second. 1 moment.
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Haha.
Oh my god.
Poor Tal in this box.
Yeah, truly. The session is like wild. Oh my god. Crazy. These Coven members. Where the fuck could I drop off this crate? God damn it. It's like everything is so important. Everything is so important. There's so much on my plate. Oh my god. Holy
I'm gonna
shit.
say that you probably, this is really deep into the catacombs where you are. If
Yeah.
you remember your steps, you could just drop it off here if what just happened was important enough to you.
Yeah, I'm if possible, I'm gonna drop it around like the corner of a tunnel, and I'm gonna put like an X on one of the corners, just like where I can see it. Like it's gonna be a little bit higher up, just so I know where to turn for later. But yeah, and it's gonna be pretty hidden.
All right. So, are you gonna run back towards where the elevator is?
Absolutely. We are running back. Like, Tal at this point is gonna actually, there's almost like a near sprint, like, because of the elevator.
All right. Micah, the elevator is honestly very scary. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Resident Evil 8, but like the elevator that's in the Dimitrescu manor is kind of similar.
Oh
Um,
my god.
you're unsure. There's no signage. There's nothing around. It's literally just an elevator, and you hear these like bracing footsteps. They're like quite loud. Do you want to try and escape the mine shaft? Do you want to go in the elevator? What do you want to do?
Yeah, Micah's gonna hop in that scary elevator and press the buttons and like close the gates and hope that it starts sooner than the person approaching.
All right, so Tal, if you'd like, you can make a volatile roll to catch up with Micah as the elevator goes down because you did hot in here for the catacombs.
Yes, I
Um,
did.
but up to you.
No, like, Tal's gonna be sprinting for the elevator because there's only so few people that can go down here, and that elevator. Yeah, okay, so that's gonna be volatile.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, roll 2d6.
Oh, wow. Okay, so 7 is a mixed success, but it's a success nonetheless. You are able to, when you reach the elevator, you get hands on the doors as they're closing. You can either step inside the elevator. Micah, this person has run towards you with fire in their hands. And you can either enter the elevator, Tal, or you can try to reach in, get Micah, and pull them out. What do you want to do?
So Tal gets hands on the elevator doors and is like, the metal kind of start glowing where they're holding it because of the heat. And Tal is gonna straight up reach their arm in there and grab Micah by the suspenders. And the light must be limited, so wherever like the hands are probably glowing is like you can only see bits and pieces of like the gold suspender, like the leather strap, and the blue hair. Like yeah, and she's gonna reach in there and grab them by one of the suspenders to try to yank them out as the elevator is going.
Micah, you get forcefully yanked out of the elevator and thrown to the ground. And Tal is this imposing figure that's now towering over you. And I think that's where we're gonna leave the session.
Oh my
Oh my god, I'm sweating. Like, this session did not give me a break. This was insane.
Do you want to say bye to the recording?
Bye.
Bye,
Yeah.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.